Hi everybody, this is going to be our 5th session of painting. It's been a while since I've been on this. I had to do a photo shoot early in May, and then I went to Texas to visit my mom, so the camera kind of was used for the photo shoot, so it's probably not exactly where it was before. I just didn't get rhythm, sorry about the loud noise there. Alright, so image popped up, I'm sure, but the center part is going to be purple, and I have this lovely bright purple, it's called. I'm just going to block this in. That's all I'm going to do today, or at least this session. Just block this in, let it dry. I'll probably end up hitting it with the second coat off camera, just make sure it's nice and solid. I put down tape, and I had my stencil, which I'm not sure where it's at offhand, traced it, and simply cut out the interior lines. I didn't cut perfectly. I'll hit that with my brush when I pull the tape off. Which is going to be lighter purple. This outer circle, I think you can see that on camera, is going to be a darker purple. And I'll probably mostly do that with hand, except for I might mask off these lines here, just for a cleaner edge. Once everything's dry and settled. So let's get some purple on our canvas, well yeah, get it on canvas, on our palette, and pull off the little thing, there we go, to ensure freshness, and blorp on some purple into the little cup. Literally went blorp, very amusing. Let's see. I think we'll be using our Maestro Series 15 angled number 10. Or we can use the wash brush. This is actually looser. These have been cleaned, and I don't know, just this, you can see there's paint down the ferrule here, so this is lighter. I'll probably go with that because I'm just going to essentially slop it on right now. I want a nice thick coat to cover the black, but you can see it's going to pull it, and when it dries it will contract a bit. But yeah, my mom is down in Texas these days, living with my sister Shannon, my older sister, and she's lived down there. Well, she's lived off and on in Texas and Georgia when Shannon was living in Georgia. My younger sister Terry is in San Antonio. Initially she went to San Antonio because Shannon and Scott are still in their Georgia house. And they finally sold it, and they bought in San Angelo. So today for Mother's, or rather this year for Mother's Day, I went down to San Angelo and spent a week down there and visited. It's a nice visit. Mostly stayed in the house because it's hot and they don't really do a lot, at least that I'm aware of. They have their own little activities, but they didn't involve me, so that's fine. I was working out of the house there. It was hot. It was 99 when I got there, and the part of the house that I was in was just not cooled all that well, because I guess they got 2 HVAC units, and when they turn on the one that controls the back of the house, the front of the house just turns to an ice box. So unfortunate result of that is I was sweating. I had a fan, so I survived. Didn't sleep all that well at night, but you know, strange bed and all that. This is going to be a real short session. It's covered pretty good, but I can tell I'm going to have to go over it again. But try to get a nice coat without brush marks, because brush marks, you can always tell a little bit. I am in danger of overworking this. Let me just go real lightly. Wish I had one of those big white brushes that Bob Ross would use, but I don't. Just skimming it right now, just to kind of knock the top off the brush strokes. Alright, stop it. Alright, literally that's all I'm doing in this session, 5 whole minutes. And I'll bring you back when I do the darker. I'll have to mix some paint for that because I don't have a dark purple, I don't think, do I? Alright. There I am. Hi. Alright, now the purple is dry. It is very dry. It has been a long time since I've been there, but we're going to remove the tape and we are going to paint the edges around the purple. Wow, I forget what I'm even saying. So we're just kind of put the highlights. Are we doing that? No, we're not. We are going to paint the darker purple around the lighter purple. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. So let me get my scalpel out. Sharp blade. I use a sharp blade to kind of pry things up easier. When I need it. So I'm going to freehand. I have the line. Hopefully the line is still there. When the tape comes up. What is that? I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess. That's what it is. Little marks on here, which I don't know. It's probably, it was sitting in the living room for quite a while I had between painting sessions before, and at one point the cat decided to knock over the thing it was leaning against, so I'm sure it's scuffed up, and I have no idea if my yellow is still in existence. Maybe. It has been maybe a month since I painted that. I am so slow. That's what happens when I don't have a deadline. Now, speaking of the demon, hello cat. You are cat. Say hello to all your fans. See, this is Morgan. You've seen Morgan if you see my videos. Happy Morgan. She sounds so happy. What are you doing to me? I didn't ask for this. I hate you. Yes. Living with a sulking teenager for all intents and purposes. Are you angry now? Are we flipping our tail? I'd flip my tail too. I don't blame you. If I had a mother as obnoxious as me. Okay, now I remember what I did. So, I drew it on the tape. So, I am a professional. I know what I'm doing. We're going to leave the outline. We're going to cut around here. We're going to leave that in there. I knew I wanted the scalpel for a reason. Alright, it's going to be easier off, so we will cut to when we come back on. I'm sure. And we're back. So I claim. Alright, so now I'm going to scoop my paints out of my way so I can get in here and make sure the focus is back on the canvas. There we go. So I'm going to pull off the inner. So, I am going to regale you with an interesting little thing that happened to me last week. It's ever so exciting. Last week, by the time I film this, I don't know when I'm going to be putting this out, so this will be at the end of May. Let's just say the end of May, which is last week for me. It was warm. I was out. It was just after work, so I was out washing the car. It was very warm, so I put on shorts and bikini top to wash the car. Had recent surgery to increase my boobage, and I'm proud of that, and I'm happy for how I feel, so I don't mind showing off a little bit. Something I didn't get to do as a child or as a young lady. Those of you who know why, know why. So anyhow, when I was done, I decided to go for a walk in the neighborhood, and Riley didn't feel like doing it. Her sinuses, I believe, were acting up, which is not uncommon this time of year for her. And I walked in the neighborhood in my bikini top before, and cars will slow down for me. Usually, everyone seems to like boobs, and the neighbors seem to become more friendly. So it's all in good fun. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? So I was almost home from my half-mile loop, and this car was approaching me. And he slows down a little bit too much. His window rolls down, and this, younger guy, maybe 30 or so, asks me if I needed a ride. Never happened before in the years I've been here. I said, no, my house is right up here. And he goes up and past my driveway and turns around the neighbor's driveway and comes back. And I forget what he said to me, but it was something like, I'm kind of getting a little bit alarmed, and I'm glad I'm really close to the house at this point. I forget what he says, but it wasn't pleasant. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But I remember going back into the house. I was almost to the house, and I hear him say something from the street like, "You want some company?" Oh man, I could not get in the house and lock the door fast enough. Creepy as fuck. It's the first time that's ever happened to me like that. So yeah, the doors got locked after that. Nothing else happened, but I saw him. We looked out the front window. Riley was a little alarmed by this. And he just kind of, his car was just parked in front of the house for a couple minutes, or not a couple minutes, several seconds at least, before pulling off. But man, I was telling this story to somebody else, did you call the cops? It's like, tell him what? He didn't do anything illegal, just other than being creepy, but yay. Oh, because I had the audacity of wearing a bikini top and have large breasts. Men seem to think that you're there for them now, apparently. Or I'm there for them now. So I didn't go out walking until today, and Riley went with me, and we had a car go past. I didn't slow down, that I could tell, but I just kind of had rotated my body away so that I wouldn't be nearly as visible to them. I was wearing the top I'm wearing now. It's a little skimpy, but it's not a bikini, that's for sure. And Riley's like, "What's wrong?" It's like, I said, "I'm a little gun shy right now." She understood, but usually I don't let stuff like that bother me, but yeah, I'm a little gun shy right now, I guess. But I'm sure I'll get over it. I mean, nothing bad actually happened. It's just my imagination fills in the gaps of what could have happened and what does happen to other people. Like, what if I was, at the far end of my walk when this happened? Or what if, because I used to walk out at night, dark, being fairly bold because I'm a large person, and I think stuff like this would happen to me, and I should know better. But it's one thing to intellectually know better than to actually have shit happen to you. Anyhow, so that was my kind of scary moment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the same purple as before, only we're going to darken it. The question is, do I darken it with blue, or do I have a dark purple in here? I have Windsor Violet. Let's see what this is. There we go. That's a dark purple, and it's dark, so I'll mix the two together. I don't want too dark, I don't think. Let's see what my reference picture says. It's fairly dark. And this is upside down, I just realized it. But, it works because I have to make the cuts. And right now it doesn't matter what the orientation of the picture is. Oh, what brush do I want to use? I want to be careful on the inside line to not go in there. But the outside line, we have our mask, so we should be good with that. And let's mix up the paint. So I'm just mixing in my little plastic cheap palette here. Let's see what we get. So brush down. I don't know where the palettes I was using before are. This works for now, but when I get to actual, the colors are fairly flat, so. So tomorrow I have an appointment with my mental health counselor, Lindsay, and we will talk about this and another event that happened, which I don't feel comfortable talking about right now, but yeah. And before you say, welcome to womanhood, it's not my first rodeo. It's just that particular thing never happened before because, I didn't used to have big breasts. I used to have fairly smallish breasts, and then I had my augmentation, and suddenly I'm classified differently, I think. I don't know why. And it might have been because I was wearing the bikini top, but I don't know why people seem to think they have rights to my body. I don't know why men think they have rights to my body. It's all fun and games until that one guy decides to take it too far and kind of ruins it for everybody. And really the only thing I could do about it that I'm aware of is, guard myself more. Be careful walking out at night. These are things that we teach our daughters that, but never been an issue. Because people like I was generally don't have too much to worry about, except for maybe getting mugged or whatever. It's a fairly safe neighborhood for that, but as far as sexual assault, that's generally not a concern I'd ever had. And, when I would walk out at night, it's like I convinced myself that it wouldn't happen to me because, I'm a very large person. I'm 6'2". I have a very large frame, so, it's like my silhouette I can make more masculine. I could make more masculine appearing. So in the dark, maybe I could dissuade people, or dissuade, would-be attackers that, and this is us telling myself, that it wouldn't be a good idea, or they picked the wrong target type of thing, but, my silhouette's changed significantly, and my strength is not what it used to be. And it's been 20 years since my last karate class. I don't know if I was good at self-defense then, to be honest, but in theory I have a brown belt and I could spar with some of the best in our dojo, but 20 years ago, and my body's changed significantly, not just, with the hormones and everything, but just I'm a lot older, and I've damaged my back, and I don't have the strength and stamina. I mean, I might be able to put up an initial good fight, but I'd run out of steam real quick. In my brain, I'm still, that 35-year-old person, but I don't remember a lot of the stuff I learned. I'm curious to how much I would just pull out by reflex. I've surprised myself with some, explosive reactions when at times needed in the past, but I don't know. I think at times that, maybe I should go back and finish it. Well, my dojo was in Noblesville, and that's a bit of a drive. Maybe I could find somebody to teach me local. It didn't seem that much of a concern until relatively recently. It's like now that I realize how vulnerable I could be, or, even Riley could be. If I don't have the strength, she definitely doesn't have the strength. Because at least I do some exercise, and she really doesn't. And I worry about her. Happy chat. So anyhow, I just mixed up this purple and I'm just putting down the layers. I'll have to touch that up. At least the letter color's just solid. I wanted to paint earlier because it's been a while and I need to get back into the flow, but got everything all set up and the camera wouldn't turn on because the battery had died. Well, not died, it was just totally discharged. Dude, come on, I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So I had to put it in the charger for a while, and it's like after 10, and I'm tired, and I don't want to deal with this. Excuse me, but I'm going to because I need to have progress on this. So I'll feel better about it, because I don't think... Oh, let's see, tomorrow I'm going to Marcy's. We're having dinner with Riley, and I are having dinner with her and Megan. And Thursday is my date night with Marcy. And Friday is the first Friday type of thing, and I'm going down to the art show, the Athenaeum, because I, once again, am entered into the Pride Art Show, third year in a row. This time with my Lady Rose picture. And I'll put a picture right here, what it looks like. Ooh, she's so pretty. Did that in college, and I was in Texas visiting my mom when the email came out, you know, call for submissions, and it's like, crap, I never really did anything since last summer that I would feel is appropriate for this kind of art show. And I remembered I had this one, and I did have a picture of it, not the best quality. On my OneDrive, so I pulled that up and I submitted it. It's like, last year they initially weren't gonna take my entry, which was the Breath of Loki one, because they were wanting to focus on new artists, but I guess they didn't have enough entries, so they brought me in, and they really liked it, apparently. So this year, I was talking to Gara, who's in charge, and she said that they were happy that I had entered and really liked the picture. So Friday we'll see. Hung up. I don't know who's going to come with me. Maybe Riley, maybe Marcy. I don't know. Maybe I'll go alone. So I did the first year. Riley went with me last year. I don't like to go along with those things, but I will, because, you know, I don't want to live in a bubble. And I appreciate it when my wife supports me and all this, and then, you know, mentally, but actually go with me. It's always nice. And I know she suffered a lot from COVID. The anxiety, she was anxious to begin with, and it just made things worse. Just getting her out of the house. She's going with me to the Pride Festival on Saturday, which I'm very happy for. I want to add more color, but I don't want to overwork the paint. And I'm in danger. I'm in danger of overworking paint. I need to stop. All right, I'm going to end this session here. Let this dry. I'm going to put some plastic over my paint to keep it. And so, off camera, I'll finish it up. And then, next time I bring you back, we'll probably be pulling it all off and then starting on the edges. Alright, see you in the next session.